Hi, this is a quick video about matrices. I'd like you to read what is on screen, so just pause the video and read it because I'm going to clear it as soon as possible. Next thing I'm going to talk about will be the order of a matrix. So please pause the video right now. So just to reiterate, a matrix with m rows and n columns is called an m by n matrix, and it's said to be of order m by n. So for example, this particular matrix has got the first row, that's row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So it's got 4 rows, and then column 1, column 2, column 3, and 3 columns. So we say that its order is 4 by 3. If we consider B, we will see that it's only got 1 row, but it's got 3 columns. 1, 2, 3. So we'd say it's of order 1 by 3. Alright, just you may want to pause the video to try C and D. Okay. Now for C, it's got 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows. So 3 by, it's got 1 column, 2 columns. So 3 by 2. And for D, 2 rows, row 1 there, and then second row here. Okay, but for the columns, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 2 by 5 matrix. Next up, addition of matrices. To be added or subtracted, 2 matrices must have the same order. So if the first one is a 2 by 3, you can add it to another one that is a 2 by 3. To add these 2 matrices, you will pick this 6 and add it to this one. So you have 6 plus 1. You pick this one and add it to this 2. So you have 1 plus 2. You pick this 2, add it to this 5. That's 2 plus 5. This 0, add it to the 10. You have 0 plus 10. Add this 1 to this 0. 1 plus 0. Add this 3 to 8. 3 plus 8. And if we simplify, we get 7, 3, 7, 10, and 1, 11. The same rule applies for subtraction. So for this one, we have 6 minus 1. That's this 6 minus this one. And then we have 1 minus 2. And then we have 2 minus 5. We have 0 minus 10. You have 1 minus 0. You have 3 minus 8. All I've done is to choose the elements that are in the same positions. We simplify that to get 5, negative 1, negative 3, negative 10, 1, negative 5. Next, we look at multiplication of matrices. The first type is called scalar multiplication. And that's when you multiply a matrix by a number. So you say we have 3 multiplying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what you do is just take that 3 and multiply each of the elements by 3. So you get 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, 3 times 5, 3 times 6. And upon simplification, we get 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. And that's all about scalar multiplication. In general, if Aij is a matrix and we are multiplying it by k, then we get Kaij. Two matrices can only be multiplied if the number of columns of the first matrix equals to the number of rows of the second matrix. For example, say we have these matrices. As you can see, the first matrix is a 2 by 2, which simply means it's got 2 rows, row 1, row 2, and then 2 columns, column 1, column 2. Okay, and the second one is a 2 by 1, which means it's got 2 rows, row 1, row 2, row 1, row 2, and then 1 column. So it's a 2 by 1. Now, because the number of columns here is the same as the number of rows here, it means that they are compatible for multiplication. Secondly, it also tells you the order of the resulting matrix. Just pick the number of columns of the first and take it out, as well as the number of rows of the second. Your resulting numbers will form the order of your resulting matrix. So your resulting matrix will be a 2 by 1. Now let's learn how to multiply. Now to multiply, you go row multiplied by column. Okay, so you pick, like I said, you go row multiplied by column. Now how does this work? You pick the first one and then you multiply by the first one. So we're going to have 2 by 4. And then to complete that row, remember I said we go row by column. To complete that row, you pick the second one and then you multiply it by the second. So that completes the row, 2 by 5. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add them like that. Okay, now what we just need to do is to repeat the process for the second row, 1 and 5. Now to do that, we pick the first, which is 1, multiplied by 4, so we have 1 by 4. And then we pick the second, which is 5, and then multiply it by the second, which is 5 by 5. And what we want to do is to add both. Simplifying that gives us 8 plus 10, and then 4 plus 25, which gives us 18, 29. Now to take the second example, what I'm going to do is copy the first example, but just make it a bit more interesting. So I've got 2, 1, and I've got 3, 5. I will be multiplying that by 4, 5, 1, 7. So first, let's discover the order of the resulting matrix. This is a 2 by 2. This is a 2 by 2 also, which means if I take out the number of columns here and the number of rows here, I have a 2 by 2 as my resulting matrix's order. All right, now let's begin to multiply. What I always advise, first of all, is you cover this up so that you are not confused when you begin the multiplication. And then only take the first column. All right, remember that we go row multiplied by column. So we take the first number, which is a 2, we multiply it by the 4 here. So we have 2 by 4. Remember, we're going to add it to 3 by 5. So 3 times 5. And the next, we've gone on to the second row now. We pick the first number, which is a 1, multiplied by 4, 1 times 4. Then we pick the second one, which is a 5, multiplied by 5. So I have 5 by 5. And that completes the one for the first column here. And because I've completed it, I'm going to shade it out. And then make the second one more alive so that I might do the multiplication. And you really just need to repeat the same thing. Pick the first number, which is a 2, multiply it by 1. So I've got 2 by 1. Pick the second number, which is a 3, multiply by 7. I've got 3 by 7. And then we add. Then I pick the first number, which is a 1, multiply by 1. So 1 times 1. Pick the second number, which is a 5, multiply by 7. I've got 5 by 7. So that way you don't get confused. Next, we simplify. Remember that this first column is what gave us 1829. So I'm just going to copy that. The second one is 2 by 1, which is 2, plus 3 times 7, which is 21. That should give us 23. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 7 is 35. 35 plus 1 will give us 36. So our result is that. Okay. Now, if you want more examples on multiplication of matrices, I'm going to make a new video and put that in so that this one is not too long. Catch you in the next video. Bye.